You know, I could have talked to Jaws forever. I mean, we've been around for 40 years, and we do hang out a lot on the on off camera. But anyway, next week I've got something really cool for you hockey fans out there. Claude Giroux, captain of the Philadelphia
Oh,
Flyers, back in the day when he was a teenager, it was lightning on ice. Drafted by the Flyers, got knocked down to the minors, works his way back up, and wears the big C in his chest. You're really gonna like this kid. He's pretty cool.
I was always a big hockey fan, so I can't wait to see that one. Also this week, though, we have Eddie Murphy, who was away from the camera for 4 years. He took a break, but he's in this lovely film called Mr. Church that was just out recently, and it just came out on DVD. We'll take a look at it. It's really very, very sweet. You see him in a whole different...
Yeah, it'll just be interesting to see him in a dramatic role as opposed to a ultra comedic role.
Right. And we also have the very handsome Colin Farrell, who is also in Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. It's a great cast. It's a great movie. And you'll want to see both of them. So here you are.
Mr. Spanda, do you know anything?
Golden Globe winning Colin Farrell is another one of the outstanding actors in J.K. Rowling's newest screen phenomenon, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
Us? I refuse to bow down any longer.
You play a pretty bad guy in this one. Percival Graves is not a nice guy in so many different ways. Do you
such a harsh
prefer
judge.
playing bad guys? I know some people really do. They said they can really sink their teeth into it.
I don't know. It's fun playing characters that have a certain archness to them, or usually characters that could be deemed bad guys have a very particular and single-minded goal, whatever it is, whether it's destruction or havoc or creating ill will and following through on that ill will in a practical way. But I thought Graves, I mean, I didn't see him as a bad guy, of course. I saw him as somebody who had a very particular ideology and a very particular purpose in this story and in this world to maintain and uphold the protection and safety of wizard kind. I loved it on the page, and when I talked to David Yates about it and what he saw the character's purpose was in the narrative, it was pretty clear to me.
When you do a film with a lot of special effects, does that in any way change how you look at it, how you perceive it, how you actually do it?
Not really, no. I mean, at the end of the day, it's the same thing you're doing. You're trying to honor the character and the character's purpose in the story. For me, I didn't get to work with too many special effects. I didn't feel, because most of my work was practical. I didn't interact with any of the beasts. I mean, Eddie had to use his imagination a lot more possibly than I did. I got to inhabit all these extraordinarily elaborate sets, and everything that I was working with was tangible, seeable, touchable.
I'm curious, for a whole generation of people, not just young people, but a lot of adults, they loved all the Harry Potter books, the films. I'm curious, when you were growing up, did you have a group of books or even comic books that you were fascinated with?
Roald Dahl, BFG and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and the Twits. I was a big fan of Roald Dahl.
J.K. Rowling obviously knows a little bit about writing, to say the least, but this was her first script that she wrote. Did she talk to the actors about any of the development, or it was pretty well all done?
It was all done, yeah, it was all done. I mean, the draft that I read changed a little bit. It was constantly, she was constantly tipping it and imbuing certain scenes with new beats, but it was all pretty much ready to go by the time I read it, which was about 2 months before I flew to London, I think, to start shooting. She wrote an extraordinary script. I mean, she's an amazing, amazing writer. I never met her. The days that she was on the set, I wasn't working, unfortunately.
Then I don't feel so bad that we were all hoping she'd be here, so now we don't feel that bad. No, but thank you.
Oh, sure,
it was
sweet.
really enjoyable.
Thanks.
Oscar-nominated Eddie Murphy returns to the movies after a 4-year break in the true story, Mr. Church. Now out on DVD, Eddie gives a moving performance as a cook for a mother and daughter facing impending tragedy.
I couldn't imagine life without him.
Mr. Church, I'd like to check out a book.
What kind of a deal did Richard make with you?
I was asked to cook for you and your child till you passed on.
And through it all, I never knew Mama was sick. I never knew anything until much later.
You are so beautiful.
My mama had been the sun to me. And Mr. Church, he was like the moon. Cool, calm, and always there.
Turn down the lights tonight.
What's gonna happen now?
But you can call Boston University and tell them that Charlotte Brooks will be attending.
It's funny how life has a way of moving forward. I guess you could say we were lost after Mama died.
What are you doing?
Oh, I'm just...
Okay, now you got to go.
Sorry.
One rule and you break.
What is it with all these secrets and lies? I just wanted to tell you, Mr. Church. But wherever life takes you, and no matter how hard it gets, you can always find your way back home.
Have a place to stay?
She lives with me. You gave me the most important thing life can offer. You gave me a family.
We dance, we sleep, we live, we love tonight.
Hey, I'm Vince Papale, and you're watching the Invincible A-List with Vincent Jones. Stay tuned.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back. I can't believe it. Another show done. God, we do have the best job, do we not? I love what we do.
Well, half the time you're in Hollywood, for crying out loud, but I get a chance to interview people that really are idols of mine, and they've had that chance to live their dream like I did, and they dream big. So for all you out there, make sure you dream big and have an invincible week.